Hi, my name is George, and I'm the founder of Raw Power Management. RPM is a software platform to conquer the financial management of solar assets. As we all know, historically, solar growth has been driven by cost reduction innovation in areas like PV modules, then sales as empowered by project finance engineering, and more recently, installation efficiency. But now that we have such a large base of installed systems in service here in the US, there is now a shift in focus to the post-install environment, which is where RPM comes in. So despite the tens of billions of dollars that have been invested in solar to date, the financial deployment and then on the back end performance reporting analytics of these assets has been very manual, prone to error, and costly to manage at scale. I know all of this because I lived all of this firsthand in my prior roles, where before I started RPM, my inspiration was my experience at Sunrun, where I built up the corporate finance and asset management teams, and then at Solar City, where amongst many things, I led the way for the first rounds of solar asset-backed securitization. And it's there that I saw that for the future of solar to stay on track, the industry would require scalable systems, automated processes, and standards for managing solar as an emerging asset class. So I went ahead and brought these solutions to market with RPM. So as a user, when you first log into our software, you land on your portfolio dashboard, which is a 50,000-foot view of how much capital you've raised to date. And here you can then see a clean summary of how much of that capital has been deployed in project investment versus is remaining for future funding capacity. You then further see a split out of that capital between various funds or project groupings to accommodate things like, whether it's a tax equity fund or a debt facility or securitization round. You can then dive into an existing fund to manage deployment or import actuals and track reports and analytics, or create a new entity to drive further investment. Before I move on to some of the reporting functionality, what I really want to highlight is that at the heart of our software is a cloud-based forecasting engine that's able to generate granular project-level energy production and cash profit and loss forecasts. We can then aggregate this at any scale from a single project up to many projects within a fund, up to a whole portfolio consisting of hundreds of thousands, if not ultimately millions of projects, all without the need to rely on Excel, all done within our software. Some of the additional functionality that I'd like to highlight here is that we're able to split out investor benefits from developer benefits to accommodate things like partnership flips and also calculate retained value. So when you import your project data tape, one of the basic things that you're able to do is generate a wide variety of customizable reports to track any field that you have associated with your projects, whether that be like utility concentration or geographic distribution across states or counties, equipment manufacturers, market mix, credit scores, really any data field that you have associated with your projects, we can import and empower you to easily cut it up and visualize that data very quickly. Additionally, since our system generates seasonalized energy production forecasts with underlying assumptions for degradation that you define at the fund level, we can then import actual performance so that you can track and monitor your energy production to see how is your fund performing, how is a tranche performing, down all the way to an individual project. But we build up on top of this, and what's really powerful is the ability to then track correlation of operational performance to financial performance, which is ultimately what investors care about. They want to see how is their investment performing, are they getting the returns that they're expecting. So here you can track actual versus budget forecasts, again at the fund level down to all the way to an individual project, where you can start with net operating income, and if there's any performance that you're seeing, you can then drill down and see what that's being driven by in our revenue and expense detail. Additionally, one last thing I'd like to highlight is that we built in a very powerful geoanalysis tool that allows you to kind of visualize the concentration of your projects geographically and track, concentrations of projects, of system size, of fair market values, of credit scores. But then we can also toggle performance visualization so you can see, at the national level, at the country level, how is your energy production or financials performing, and then drill down to an individual state, down to a county, to a zip code, and really zoom in and out very quickly. So with RPM at the core of your financial operations, what you're able to do is empower your asset managers and investors to get actionable insight and make data-driven decisions to improve future performance and raise future additional capital. And all of this is done faster than the status quo and at a dramatically lower cost. Thank you. I appreciate your time.